What is the deal, Raider Nation? Once again, you're back for another episode of the Raider Rundown. Right now, we rocking it. How we got to rock it, man. Your boy moved into a new spot, so I got to do what I got to do. But, right, today, we going to talk about the ass whooping that we gave the Chargers, right? Whooped them like they stole something. So at the end of the day, right, we got to talk about it. I want to give y'all my unfiltered opinion, you know what I mean, solo dolo. So without further ado, man, let's go ahead and get the intro started. Let's get this live show cracking.
Young guy, I had a dream that someday I would build the finest organization in professional sports.
What is the deal, man? What is up with all my peoples, man? What is the deal? I know everybody was feeling good. I walked outside, rocked my Raider shit with pride. You know what I'm talking about? Because at the end of the day, the Raiders did what they were supposed to do. And that was handle their business, right? They whooped that ass yesterday when we talked about the 63-21 win over the Chargers. Beautiful, beautiful victory, bro. I mean, we got to talk about it from all phases, right? I don't want to take up too much time. This ain't going to be a super, super long live, right? Anything like that. But today, I want to give you my unfiltered opinion on what I saw yesterday. right? And what I think is going to go on as the future, continues. So, 63 to 21. All right. Very, very lopsided ass victory. All right. All phases of the Raiders team yesterday played beautiful. You talk about special teams, you talk about defense, and the offense finally showed up. This is what could be of this Raiders team if the offense was showing up all goddamn year. If the offense showed up all goddamn year, we'd have a way better record. The defense, what they're doing now, don't surprise me no more at this point. You know what I mean? At this late in the season, I'm a firm believer of if you this late in the season, what you have shown already is basically what you are. You know what I mean? And so far up to this point, the defense has shown nothing but improvement, and the defense has shown nothing but discipline, right? And it is only heightened ever since Antonio Pierce came and did his thing and came and became the head coach, right? Ever since he's become the head coach, now you see the defense is flying around a little bit more. They look a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more sound. These are things that we've been wanting to see forever, right? And so when you talk about this win, it's a perfect bounce back after you don't score a goddamn point. You don't score a goddamn point. Next week, you put up the franchise history in points. You know what I mean? Like that right there is something major. And you did it under an interim head coach who's trying to earn his job. So we're going to talk about the interim head coach, right? AP puts another notch under the belt. I'm a firm believer that me personally, there's still more games of evaluation to be had. You feel what I'm saying? There's still more games for us to look and evaluate and see like if we think we can move forward with him. You know what I mean? That's basically it. To me, man, I've continuously said that he has this team prepared. He has this team disciplined. He got them playing aggressive, bro. Like, ever since he's taken over, the team has taken another notch to me. And everybody wants to kill him for the offense, but I continuously say it. He's not an offensive coach. And ever since he's came in here, minus the kind of collapse of the Kansas City game, right? The defense has been as good as advertised, right? And he is coaching the defensive side of the ball. So obviously, if he's coaching that side of the ball and they take a tick up in their production, you got to give him that credit, right? Now, of course, he's the head coach, so he has to bear some brunt of the blame for the offense. But we all know the situations on the offense. I've highlighted that rookie quarterback, rookie play caller. Like, at the most important spots, we know we real rookie there. You know what I mean? So not much to talk about there. But when you talk about AP, the intensity in which he has this team playing is something to behold, right? And when I talk about that, this is what I mean. Yesterday, you saw two teams, 5-8, both teams 5-8. But one coach, you saw his players gave the fuck up on him. His players gave up, right? They just, you could just see it. It wasn't anything that needed to be explained or anything that needed rocket science, bro. You can see by the effort that they're giving for that coach. They don't want to play for him. You know what I mean? Brandon Staley they didn't want to play for him. And then on the other side, another 5-8 team, but a completely different energy, right? When you talk about us, that looks like a team that's playing for that coach and wants that coach to retain his job. That's what it looked like. You know what I mean? Like yesterday, Max Crosby before the game, he made a lot of comments about him wanting Antonio Pierce as the head coach. A lot of players came out and said they would like Antonio to be the head coach. Well, your execution got to show that, right? And that's basically what it is. The execution has to show the words. And that's what happened. On the offensive side of the ball, you basically corrected every wrong you had last week. And that's a beautiful sight to see when you're coming off such an ugly ass loss. You know what I mean? So what I'm looking for AP and what I saw from AP is that he felt the rope slipping a little bit. After that Minnesota game, you see how our fan base is. He felt that rope slipping a little bit, right? He's starting to lose a little control of whatever he has to retain his job. What did he do? He came back out and said, watch this. And that's the shit that I like. You know what I mean? Another thing, bro, you see how hard he was still coaching in the fourth quarter? He got on Tyree Wilson's ass in the fourth quarter. We up by 40. And Tyree Wilson jogging, right? He got on Tyree's ass, chewed him out. Next play, guess what? Tackle for loss. That's the little things that make me really like this coach. You know what I mean? Like, not only are the players executing, bro, they are listening. He got their ear. He has their ear. They listening. They paying attention. They really want to hone in, right? Because they know that this coach is trying to get the best out of me by any means necessary, bro. And I love when Antonio Pierce says after his presser, right? Whether you win, whether you lose, regardless of it, bro, it's got to look a certain way. It's got to smell a certain way. It's got to be a real Raider shit. You know what I mean? If we going to do it how we supposed to do it, and if we going to get everything right, it's all got to look right, right? From your preparation, from the coaches to the players, to the execution, to the discipline, everything. Gotta look, smell right, bro. And he continuously says this. And these are things that I believe, are building blocks that you could put in place to now have a sustainable team, right? What have we always wanted? Continuity, sustainability. He's putting building blocks to me of those things. That's how I feel that what Antonio Pierce is doing. Now, do I think that he has ultimately won the job and it's outright his? No, I don't think he has outright won the job yet. Although I want him to get the job, I do. I don't think he's outright won it yet. I still think there's a little bit of pushback, right? There could still be a little bit of pushback. I don't think he has definitively won the job. But next week he got the real test coming up. And real quick, I can't really get to the comments because I'm on my phone, but we still trying to make it do what it do. But what's happening, everybody that is in the chat now, I can see it. Hold on. Okay, Sam, what is the deal? You already, hey, all my peoples, man, love when y'all pull up, man. It's all love. You know what time it is. Tony, what's the deal? Salute to you. Rafa, my guy, what's the deal, man? What's the deal? Pull Robertson after the taunt. And hey, Tony, bring it up, man. Bring it up. Because he is not afraid to pull a guy. He's not afraid to pull a guy if he's not executing the way he's supposed to. Right? And in the NFL level, it's rare to see, bro. It's rare to see in the NFL level because money gets involved. Money gets involved and egos get involved, and now you start doing all this. But that's like that high school stuff where you like, hey, bro, you ain't playing well. You got to sit down. Sit on down. And that's exactly what it is. So with Antonio Pierce, like I said, I don't think he has definitively won the job. This is just all my opinion. All my opinion. You know what it is. But I don't think he's definitively won the job. I do think, though, just like the last game with KC, if he beats KC, he's going to get the job. You heard it here first. This is Rundown's opinion, bro. If he beats KC, he's going to get this job. Everybody can downplay it and say, nah, he's not the dude. I'm telling you right now, if he beats this team in Kansas City on Christmas Day, he going to get that job. Because why? For Mark Davis, it's about moments. It's about moments, right? Look, we talked about it right here, right? Somebody just said it in the comments. Did you see how Mark was looking yesterday? Bro, that's a moment. Mark ain't going to forget that. When you talk about some hiring, he scored 63 points. Mark ain't forgetting that game. You have to put things, if I'm AP, you got to put things in Mark's head that are memorable. When we go into this offseason, that league, no doubt. No doubt. So what do you have under your belt now? Okay, you beat the Giants decisively in your first game. That's good. You beat the Jets. Good defense. That's a good situation. That's a moment. Good. Okay, you lose these games. How do you bounce back after you have one of your most embarrassing games? Because last week was a negative moment, right? Last week was a very, very negative moment when we talk about 0 points and you lose by 3 points. So that's something that you didn't want to have festering in Mark Davis's mind going into the offseason. So how do you bounce back? Well, you bounce back by negating that with a goddamn 63-point game. Right now, boom, block that 0 point out. We're here with the 63. Now you put that in his mind. And what's another thing that you can do if you're Antonio Pierce that can leave no doubt for Mark Davis in his mind when he talks about this head coaching? You beat KC in KC. Because we all know, bro, as much as us fans want this game, them players in the building want that game. Them coaches want that game. And you can bet your ass for sure Mark Davis wants this game. You do this against KC, I think he gets the job, bro. I think he gets the job. To me, he's shown traits of being a very quality head coach to me. And like I've continuously said, I'm willing to bank on Antonio Pierce developing and getting better rather than bringing in a rookie head coach to start this process all over again. That's how I'm feeling right now. So based off that, boom, bang. Another question mark we've all had and we talked about for a long time. We got to address it. Mr. Aiden O'Connell. What do you have? 4 or 5 touchdowns? What do you have? 4 touchdowns, right? I can't look at the stats right now, but it's 4 touchdowns, I think. 4 touchdowns, bro, especially in the first half. Clean game. You feel what I'm saying? No turnovers. Looked very good. I mean, and this is what can happen when he's decisive, when he gets the ball out of his hands. And another tidbit that I will tell y'all, I didn't really touch on it after the game yesterday, but, talking to some people, watching some more tape, Raiders were very pass heavy, pass first this game, right? With the subtraction of Jacobs from the lineup, you now saw it was more of, okay, we're going to throw on first down. We're going to throw on second down instead of we're going to hand it off to Jacobs on first down. And then once it gets into the dire situations, then we're going to throw it. No, it was a pass first attack yesterday. And I think I've said it for a while, bro. Like O'Connell has a leash. He had a leash on him for these first couple games where the leash was on, and they was protecting him with Josh Jacobs and trying not to have him do too much and all that. And then towards the end of the game, now he's scrambling because he feels like he has to make a play and he has to do all. Nah, bro, they let it rip from the jump. And I'll say this about Aiden O'Connell, right? Before the game, you got word that he was having a very short leash. He had a short leash, right? But I love how he responds, bro. I love how he responds. That's the shit right there. Salute. Aladdin, man. Hey, I ain't never seen you, man. Salute, man. Hey, always cool to have a fresh face up in this mug, man. So what's going on with you? But yeah, bro, how he responded is beautiful. You talk about a short leash, bet, watch this. That's what I like. You know what I mean? And I know some people in the section of the fan base, even some of the homies in the TRS squad, shout out. And my boy Chris from Protect the Shield, he going live. So after you're done watching your boy, like I said, I ain't going for a full hour or nothing like that. But after you're done watching your boy, go ahead, pop over to my man Chris and Protect the Shield. He got some other dogs over there. So go ahead, do what you do. BZ, my dude, what's the deal? But yeah, man, short leash, bet, watch this. That's what I like. That's what I like. And like I said, I know some subsection of the fan base wanted a quarterback change last week, against Minnesota. I understand, bro. I understand, some of y'all will want a quarterback change and provide a spark or whatever. But me, personally, I said it before Aiden started. You can go back, everybody that watch me, you already know the deal. And I'm going to stand 10 toes on what I say, right? I said before Aiden even started, if he gets in, bro, once he gets in, you ride or die with him. It is what it is, bro. Either we sink or swim. And that's just me. And I said this before. Y'all already know what time it is. So, if I say we going to sink or swim with the Rook, it come with that 0 point, that 0 point outing. That's what it come with. But then if you tell me that that's what it come with, but then he going to bounce back and give me 52 points on the offensive side, come on, son. Come on, bro. You know what I mean? Like that's the type of cojones that I'm talking about right there. You know what I mean? Like that's what you need from your quarterback. And third of all, against the team that he started against in the first place and didn't have his best outing. And that's the next thing, bro. The first time he played the Chargers, it wasn't good. What do you do this next time? Come back. Okay, now these are things that I take to my bank. Right? These are things that I take to my bank because that's the shit right there, man, that lets you know that you got a guy. Now, do I think that the Raiders should not draft a quarterback in the first round? No, I don't think that at all. I still think that it warrants drafting a quarterback. Like I said, man, if you finish anywhere in the top 10 this year, there's no way you can convince me we're not drafting a quarterback. I'm sorry. But I will say this. For as good as Aiden played, okay, I think that going forward, how well Aiden plays determines how high of a draft pick we pick a quarterback at, if that makes sense, right? So, for example, if the Raiders, if Aiden O'Connell finishes the season somewhat strong or whatever, and the Raiders finish with what, like the, 15th pick, you can let somebody slide. You can let it slide. But if you finish somewhere with like the 10th pick, 8th pick, bro, like you're gonna pick a quarterback. And even so, and even if you finish with like a 15th, 16th pick, ain't no way that you cannot trade up to get a dude either. It's still all on the table. You feel what I'm saying? It's all on the table, bro, to do what you want to do. I mean, if y'all recall, bro, Kansas City had the 27th or 24th overall pick or some shit, and then they traded up to 15 to get Mahomes. It can be done. You know what I mean? Like, where there's the will, there's the way. But O'Connell has it all in his hands right now. You feel what I'm saying? Like, he got his destiny in his hands. But I believe right now the way he's playing is good, but it does not warrant him not having any competition. You know what I mean? And that's where I'm at right now. I feel like Aiden O'Connell is playing well, but as of right now, his play does not warrant him not having competition. He must have competition, and I need that shit to bring the best out of him. May the best man win. It's a gladiator fight at that. You know what I mean? Luffy, what's the deal? Salute. Get defense in the draft. Cornerback, DT, linebacker on offense. We need a left tackle, QB, bringing the guard from practice squad, put Mumford in right tackle. You can't get a Jaden Daniels in the first. Get AOC a late QB who has a chip to compete. I can deal with Aiden for one more year. Okay. I think I would like it. I would like, honestly, to get a quarterback next year. I'm not going to lie to you. I'd still make a move as of right now. But like I said, it's all up for debate because if next week this man comes out here and balls against Kansas City and has, we're not going to say 4 touchdowns, but let's just say 250, 2 tubs, no interceptions with a win. That shit you got to take to your bank, bro. Like, you got to take that to your bank and be like, God damn, like, and that's in Kansas City. That's in Kansas City. So these are things that, like I said, there's so much more evaluation to be had, bro. It's exciting. The trajectory this team is on. Last, couple little more points that I had from the game yesterday. Number 1, I think I may have said this early on, but if I have not said this before, I'm gonna say it now. Dylan Parham needs to stay at the center position. No ifs, ands, or buts, bro. Dylan Parham needs to stay at the center position, bro. He is a better, more natural center than Andre James. That is my personal opinion. I think that we can rock with Parham at the center, and you can fuck around and get 2 new guards, something like that. You know what I mean? Like, even Van Roten has played better as the year progresses, right? Like, he's not even as terrible as we thought he was. So, I think yesterday Parham, he impressed me at center, bro. He really, really impressed me. What up, Mendes? How you doing? Salute. Yeah, and Kilby, what's the deal, man? We played a close to flawless game at the first half. Yeah, close to flawless, pretty flawless. That's like exactly every phase playing as well as it can play yesterday. But Dylan Parham needs to stay at center. That's one takeaway right there. Dylan Parham definitely needs to stay at center. He did his thing. Number 2, we must admit now, although they are gone, Munford was a good pick, bro. I'm gonna say that right now, bro. Munford was a good pick. This man is a great tackle. Great tackle. I'm not gonna say he's like a top 5 tackler or anything like that, but like as far as like what he gives you for depth and all that, bro, it's tremendous, bro. Like the job he did yesterday at left tackle was tremendous. Against Khalil Mack, bro, I have no rebuttals about all that, bro. Like, I think that Thayer Munford did his goddamn thing last night, bro. I was happy to see that. Another little tidbit. I know we're gonna have to talk about this at a later date, y'all. So put this in your memory banks. But we're gonna talk about this. Now, I'm not gonna say Zamir White is the answer because he had a good game, bro. He ran with power yesterday. Zamir did his thing, and in no way, shape, or form am I saying Zamir is the answer. But what I'm saying is the running back by committee shit yesterday looked and felt better than the one-man wrecking crew. Now, some of you may disagree on that, But the fact we had 3 running backs rotate, and they rotated them so beautifully. You know what I mean? That's what I feel. So the rotation of the running backs was so good, and the change of pace was so good. It's like we ain't miss a beat. We ain't miss a step. Right? And obviously none of those dudes are Josh Jacobs. That's obvious, right? But I'm just saying, like, the running back by committee just felt better, felt more fluid, right? It changed the pace. And I've always said that, bro. Like, in today's NFL, you gotta have multiple running backs, bro. Or at least running backs that can change pace. Like, Josh Jacobs is good, but there are certain things that a more shiftier running back will be able to do. But I don't know, man. I think the running back by committee looked very good yesterday. I think it did. But next point of emphasis, bro. Jack Jones. Jack Jones. Now I didn't know he had that. I didn't know he had that shit in the tank. I'm gonna be honest with you. I had no idea he had that in the tank. But to see him do what he did, that it's wild, bro. He's doing more in these couple of games he done been here than Marcus Peters did the whole goddamn season. You know what I mean? The whole goddamn season. And that's crazy to me. Crazy to even think about. But another addition that comes in and makes a difference. And here we go. You know, we're going to get into Champ Kelly in a minute, but you know, another addition you bring in here after the trade deadline, coming off waivers, bro. He's making additions. Big little 97, big number 97, bro. On the defensive side of the ball, that Robinson dude, I like him for some reason. I don't know why. But the next point of emphasis that I'm going to bring up is the development of these young players. The development of these young players they're blossoming right before our eyes, bro. Look at how many of the contributions that were made yesterday were by young players. Think about it. You know, Trey Tucker finally has some of the things that I've been trying to allude to, right? Why I think he's the guy going forward. You know what I mean? And that's why I think number 13, you know, he ain't getting that many snaps. And there's a reason. So I think, you know, Tucker, you see him, Mayer doing his thing. You know what I mean? He continues to blossom right before our eyes. O'Connell contributing very heavy. You go on the defensive side of the ball. Tyree had a fumble recovery. He's getting better game by game, right? It's a lot of guys that continue to come up in these big moments. Another guy that's developing nicely. You got to talk about him. I continue to talk about Malcolm Koonce, bro. Malcolm Koonce. Every time I sit here and say this man is not a 3-down rusher, the man comes out and does things like this. You know what I mean? The man comes out and does things like this. I have to give him all the love in the world, bro, all the flowers in the world. He had a hell of a game. And it cannot be discredited who he was going against. Rashawn Slater, a lot of people say, is goddamn near a top 10, top 5 left tackle. People regard Rashawn Slater as a top left tackle in this league. This man dominated him yesterday, bro. This man ate his lunch. Like, and it wasn't no ticky-tack shit. He's like, he's beating this man one-on-one, like religiously whooping his ass. Like, and these are things that I'm like, okay, the beautiful development. Like my man Tony said right there, we had to say, I got to give love to him too, because I be on the train when I say he don't do the things he's supposed to do. But Diablo played a hell of a game as well, bro. Hell of a game. And I always, you know, like I say, if I'm saying something and I'm wrong about it, it's usually a good goddamn thing, because that means that the Raiders are doing something good. That's all it is, bro, and that's all we want. So it's like Diablo had a good game. Koonce had a good game. All these guys, even Trayvon Merrick is starting to play better and better and better and starting to become the safety we need. You feel what I'm saying? Like, these are things that are just beautiful to see. Nate Hobbs taking that step. You know what I mean? Now, I think the only thing on this defense now, you get that D-line right. I'm not even going to lie. At this point, if Diablo just stays healthy, bro, you don't need to touch the linebackers for real. Like, the linebackers are not a necessity. It would be a luxury if you got a better one, right? But I think you'll be cool with Spillane and Diablo. Diablo just got to stay healthy. You get the D-line. The D-line unlocks everything. If you get that right, everything else behind that looks better. So I think if you get this D line right and you shore up that other cornerback spot next to Jack Jones, right? You keep Jack Jones for next year. You keep your boy Nate Hobbs in that slot, but you got to get another corner for that other outside spot. I think that's where we're lacking right there in the secondary. That's the only weak spot in the secondary because Epps was a good ass signing. You feel me? Trayvon Merritt doing his thing. So you keep that, you get that other corner spot right and get that D line together. Might be good, but like we all said, bro, like the development. So how much of that do we give to Antonio Pierce as well? You know what I mean? Development. And this is what I was trying to explain to some of my guys too, in the TRS. Like, yeah, we could have taken Aiden O'Connell out yesterday. I mean, not yesterday, last game. You could have took him out last game after the 0-3 and whatever. But what does that do for his confidence? One. And two, what does it do for the development? Nah. Leave him in there. Leave him in there, bro. Like I said, you sink or swim. You sink or swim. And even after that game, it's beautiful to see the bounce back from everybody. Everybody. The bounce back is beautiful to see, man. And like Tony says, a full offseason under this staff. That's a full offseason under this staff. Imagine the free agents we'll be able to bring in. I don't think most people are like understanding this. Like the free agents that are gonna want to play for this man are gonna be off the chain. Off the chain. And bro, that free agent people are going to want to come here. They're going to want to come here because they see what's brewing, bro. They see how this man coaches. They see how he cares about his players and how he wants them to develop and be their best selves. And you don't think players yesterday was watching that? Players from around the league, you don't think they saw all that? Everybody's taking notice now. Everybody's taking notice now. And so, like I said yesterday in the post game, you passed the quiz yesterday. The quiz was yesterday, and that's against the team you should beat. You should beat. But next week is the test. You feel what I'm saying? Like, Antonio Pierce, Aiden O'Connell, Champ Kelly, Bo Hardegree, all these guys. And shout out to Bo Hardegree real quick before I continue. Hey, we talk a lot of shit about Bo Hardegree, bro, but my man called a masterclass game yesterday. Like, bro, masterclass game. Hefe. I know you still salty, my man, about your loss. Calm down, man. It's okay. Y'all were offsides. You don't need to still be salty. And guess what? It was the Chargers. But if we come out here and beat y'all, what you gonna say then? What you gonna say? And guess what? I hope y'all don't drop the ball. You know what I mean? I hope y'all don't drop the ball next week and lose to us, right? That would be crazy. But at the end of the day, I think that I think next week is the real test, bro. We come out and you do your thing. You do your thing against KC and KC. So motherfuckers like Hefe right there, right? They start taking it serious. You know what I mean? Like this, and this is what I'm saying. Like Hefe right here embodies the whole what KC think of us, bro. They laugh. You feel what I'm saying? It's the Chargers, relax. You know what I mean? Y'all ain't nothing, right? You know what KC is saying, bro. Don't even, you know what I mean? Don't even discredit it, bro. KC is saying, even if they lose this weekend, they're gonna be like, we're gonna get right against the Raiders. You know how they gonna be. So, by the way, I want to know who does KC play this weekend? I need to know that. Y'all let me know in the chat, man, who they play this weekend, because it might be I want to see something. But yeah, definitely I think next week is the test, bro. If he can get one of these, I think he can get the job. And we're gonna leave it with never mind. Yeah, never mind. Never mind. So y'all should win that game. I say, Hefe, I swear to God, if y'all don't win that game, bro, you better not show your ass back up in here for a straight week. For a week, timeout. You feel what I'm saying? You can't show up back up in here if y'all lose to them. But yeah, I think now Champ Kelly, we gotta bring it to Champ Kelly real quick. I think he already has the job. That's just me. I think Champ Kelly already has the job. Just based off, bro, look at the amount of people he's brought in after the trade deadline that have made contributions. It's beautiful. I think Champ Kelly should get the job for GM. I do. But yeah, and Luffy saying it right, bro. It's time if Antonio Pierce wants to be taken serious for this head coaching search, he's got to beat KC, and the Raiders can't be a get right team for other teams, right? You have to come in here and put foots in ass, and that's what I want to see. But you know, that's you know, just a little bit of what I'm thinking about for yesterday. Now, I will say this, right? Let's sit here and say we must still be objective and logical. We went from one extreme to the next, and that is 0 points to 63 points. Like it's we went from one extreme to the next. So now the question is, what meets in the middle, right? And when you go from 0 to 63, what's gonna meet in the middle, bro? Like where does the rubber meet the road? You know what I mean? What are the real Raiders coached under Antonio Pearson, led by Aiden O'Connell and Bo Hardegree? What are they? And that question will be answered next week. So, you know, let's continue to see what we got, to see what we do. You know what I mean? Let's hope that Antonio earns this position. I appreciate everybody for pulling up. Like I said, it wasn't going to be a super long one today. I just wanted to get off some of my thoughts, man, go back and forth with some of y'all, man, but it's beautiful to see. Make sure you guys sharing out the content. Make sure you hit the like, hit the subscribe button. Like I said, my dog Chris from Protect the Shield, he is live right now, so definitely go tap in the turf for you over there, man. You know, so we're gonna be back to turf and rundown Thursdays pretty soon, man, going up to next week. And you know, Leo over there as well. So go ahead, tap in with them, man. Make sure you guys hitting all them buttons, and you know I keep it authentic from the clouds to the ground on the Raider Rundown.
I need a bad bitch with an accent, serving in peace, still taxing. Just got tapped for the young cash app, moonwalking like a young Mike Jackson. Yeah, shots to the head, ride clean and still fuck feds. Realest nigga and it's on my kids, so who the fuck gon' wanna test me, bitch?